If you're paying too much for costly print or newspaper ads, or would like to try television advertising, then give Positive Promotions a call at 302-292-3994. Or to find out more about our television and video production services, go to our website at www.posprotv.com.
This is your business.
Hello and welcome. I'm Robert Johnston, Vice President for the Delaware State Chamber of Commerce, and this is Your Business. This is a brand new show about, for, and by the Delaware State Chamber of Commerce and its members. Today we'll be talking with Delaware business leader, President and CEO of Happy Harry's, Alan Levin. Later, we'll be heading to Georgetown for that Delaware Tradition Returns Day for a look at the 144th Assembly and what it means to Delaware businesses. We'll be right back with CEO and President of Happy Harry's, Alan Levin. Don't go away. All right, we're in Georgetown for Returns Day with Rich Heffron, Director of Government Affairs for Delaware State Chamber of Commerce. Rich, exciting day. Tell us a little bit about Returns Day. This is a unique event, only in Delaware, right?
It's only in Delaware, started in the 18th century when they read off the returns 2 days after the election, right up here in front of the courthouse, and they've continued it ever since. Each candidate, winning and losing candidate, rides together in a parade. At the end of the parade, they have a ceremony where they bury the hatchet, and then they read off the returns.
So if I was up against you and you won, I'd have to sit in the car with you during the parade. Does anyone ever not go?
Yeah, some people don't go. That wouldn't make you come, but about half the losers come, and that's fine because, you know, if it wasn't for two people, we wouldn't have a race.
That's right.
So that's good. It's a good tradition, and then obviously there's a party afterwards.
Okay. And were any surprises in this year's election? I know there was a lot of incumbents that didn't come back, but any surprises for you?
Only two. One, Stephanie Ulbrich lost down in the 24th district. That was a big surprise. I think a lot of people were shocked. John Qualco defeated her, and it's nothing against John. He did a good job. Just I think people were surprised. And I think some people were surprised at the margin in the 8th Senate district between Sokola and Ramon. Ramon only lost by 277 votes 4 years ago. I thought everybody thought it would be around that range, and it was. And Dave Sokola won by 2,000 votes. Which, hey, he deserves all the credit for being able to get that done.
So some changes, some new faces in Dover. What does that mean to the legislative priorities for the state chamber and for business in general in the state of Delaware?
Typical Delaware, not a lot's changed. Only 3 seats in the House went from Republican over to the Democrat side. Republicans are still in control. So I don't think there'll be a lot of changes. People in this state are pretty reasonable. We're all looking for the same thing. We're looking for economic development, we're looking for jobs, we're looking for controlled growth, so I think not much will change. The big thing this year is we do need workers' comp reform. The governor's been working with us on that, and we will get that done.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. That's Rich Heffron, Government Affairs Manager for the Delaware State Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We're here with Laird Stabler of Laird Stabler & Associates, Government Relations Consulting organization out of Wilmington. Larry, what do you think of this beautiful day?
It's fantastic. You know, you don't get much better in November. I can remember a lot of cold, rainy, windy days. This is just perfect.
And you're here rain or shine, is that right?
I try to be here every return day. Yeah, it's a great event, unique to the United States, and it's a lot of fun and serves a great purpose.
Now, any changes that you see in Dover in the next term? Any challenges that you see with the changing of some faces?
I don't see any huge changes. As you know, the Senate will be the same and controlled by the Democrats. The Republicans maintain their majority, although it's slimmer in the House. I think from now until January, probably the most interesting thing is going to be how leadership unfolds. I suspect that leadership will remain the same in the Senate, but I already hear some rumblings about possible changes in the House. So we'll have to see how that fleshes out.
What do you expect this new assembly to get done when they come back to work in January?
I think one of the big issues is going to be health care. I think education always is a major issue for the General Assembly. We've had some issues with some of the local school districts that I think still needed to be looked at. DelDOT, how we're going to fund the roads that we need. I don't think it's the crisis that was portrayed in the billions of dollars. We just need to plan carefully and use our resources wisely. But those three are probably the top ones.
Thank you for your time, Larry. Have a great day.
Good to be with you.
Thank you. We're here with Mike Castle, who just finished another victory, another one for you, sir. How do you feel?
I feel really good in a variety of ways. Obviously, it's just always wonderful to win an election, and nice to have it behind you, too. And I went through a little health problem this year, and I feel fine from that, too. So I'm very happy today.
Well, you look great. You really look good. Not an easy year to be reelected as a Republican. And how much of an impact did that have on you this year?
I think it had an impact on my margin, and I think you're absolutely right. It was not an easy year to be elected as a Republican. It's probably the worst year I've ever had to run in. Hopefully, we will have a 2-year period in which we'll be able to have achievement, in which the president will be able to work with the Congress, which will be democratically led, and we'll have positive stands and positions to run on in the future. Just won't have another year in which people are so upset about everything from Iraq to the environment to you name it, and there just seemed to be a lot of concern, legitimate concern, I thought.
And what major changes do you think will happen January when you go back to work?
Well, other than the fact we're going to have new leaders in the House and the Senate, I think the most major change is probably going to be how we approach Iraq. I think the fact that we've replaced the Secretary of Defense, or will at least here shortly, and the impetus that had through the election process will demand some sort of a different approach. I'm not 100% sure what that approach will be, but I think that's going to be the number one change that we are going to see. But to suggest that the Democrats with a very narrow margin in the Senate and a narrow margin in the House are going to make dramatic changes with a Republican president is, I think, reaching too far. So I think we're really going to have a circumstance where everybody sits down in a room together and works out final answers and goes from there. And that's what I hope happens.
And one of your projects was the stem cell research. So you think it's going to come back in 07 and have better luck this time?
Embryonic stem cell research will absolutely be an issue in 07. I may not be the sponsor, I may be a co-sponsor instead of the sponsor, but it has a lot of momentum in the House and the Senate. My judgment is we need to draft the bill differently in order to try to accommodate meeting the president, but unfortunately he's not given any openings in terms of what he would do, except this election may have reshaped some of his thinking. So my hopes are that we'll be able to do something that would advance the medical research aspect of it.
Mr. Castle, thank you very much, and enjoy your oyster sandwich.
My pleasure. I think I may skip the oyster sandwich this year.
The election is over. No more bulls.
Well, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the show. The Delaware State Chamber of Commerce is committed to supporting you and your business through legislative advocacy, cost savings programs, and through networking and community involvement. If you'd like to be more involved in Delaware State Chamber of Commerce, please call me, Robert Johnston, at 302-576-6574, or visit our website, www.dscc.com. Thanks again, and remember, if it's about business in Delaware, then it's your business.